We're back with another episode of our local business spotlight here in Bishop Stortford, where today we're at Bailey Hills Vineyard on the outskirts of the town. Come with me and let's take a look. So I'm currently here with husband and wife team, Dylan and Eloise, who own the fantastic Bailey Hills Vineyard in Bishop Stortford. Bailey Hills is creating a real buzz, so thank you guys for having me over to talk with me. So I guess for people that aren't aware of who you are and who Bailey Hills are, perhaps you could say a little bit about, what you guys do here.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to start?
We're making English sparkling wine, and we've had it made off-site for the last 4 years, and this year is the first year we're making it ourselves, which is very exciting.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I guess the question would be, when was the light bulb moment for you guys? When did you decide to take the step?
I don't know that there was necessarily a light bulb moment.
Yeah.
It's just always been a dream of ours. So our holidays pretty much consist of bundling our 3 children in a car and driving off to France. And, in the summertime, you sit in those beautiful vineyards and you think, oh, wouldn't it be lovely to have this and be here? I think we probably always thought we might actually potentially move. But then when we started looking into it, we're like, actually, we could do it in England. It's such a kind of booming industry, isn't it? And so that's really where it all kind of started from. Yeah. And then just things started to fall into place, didn't they?
And it feels like it's all come around really quickly, but it's quite a patient process, I think, isn't it, in terms of when did you first do the plant and how many vines have you guys got?
So we planted, I'd say, 8 years ago nearly. We've got 5,280 vines. Wow. And then our first harvest was 2021. And then we got our first wine back about 6 weeks ago.
Everything is slow about winemaking in England. Yeah. So each one of those vines was hand planted.
Okay.
Which was about 2.5 weeks, was it took?
2 weeks.
2 weeks it took to plant every single vine. But they're like pristine, neat rows out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you use 3 different grapes, if I'm correct, which are the champagne variety?
Yes, they're the classic 3 champagne grapes.
Okay.
So Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier.
Yeah.
We've got 3 different clones of Pinot Noir and 1 clone of each of the Chardonnay and Pinot Meunier.
Wow.
And
Absolutely. And in terms of, I guess, what you're doing here, what's the kind of, so obviously you've planted everything, the vines are now grown a bit more, and you've got obviously over 5,000. What's the process from, I suppose, taking them out there into bottled up bottles for people to sample here for?
So we pick the grapes, whole bunches. They go straight in our press within, this year was within a couple of hours. You press the juice out, it stays in the tank for about a day, then you rack it across, so you leave all the sediment, and then you ferment it, and it takes about 2 weeks to turn it into wine. And then you bottle it about 6 months later. You blend it first, and then you bottle it with sugar and yeast, and then leave it for about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So English sparkling wine or champagne is made in what they call the traditional method.
Yeah.
That's why it takes so long. So you have 2 fermentations, one in the tank and then the second in the bottle. And you may have heard the phrase resting on lees, which means literally lying on the yeast. And when the yeast kind of breaks down, that's what gives it that bready or brioche flavour that we're all kind of familiar with in the sparkling wine.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if people would like to obviously pop up and sample some of the wine or even purchase some, what times and dates it's open here?
Absolutely. So at the moment we're open Fridays and Saturdays. So we're open from 11 in the morning until 9 at night. And you can pop in and just have a little taste, stay for a glass or a bottle. But we also offer flight tasting.
Okay.
Which is a chance to sample all 3 of our wines in one go. And we offer cheese balls and charcuterie to kind of go alongside that. Now, when the clocks change, we're just going to change things up a little bit and kind of hunker down a little bit for winter. So we will be open during the day, but our evenings are going to be reserved for private hire or for our own special events.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got our very first special event that we're so excited about, which is our supper club.
Okay.
And it's sold out straight away.
Wow.
So we're super
Congratulations.
excited about that. Thank you. It's a sort of intimate evening. It's a set menu with 4 courses and canapes, and we're pairing everything with English wine.
Yes. Wow.
So yeah, we're very excited about that.
And is that something that's going to be, an ongoing tradition for you guys, or is that a bit of a one-off?
Yeah, absolutely. We hope so. One of the things that we were really keen about when we first started opening up and doing our vineyard tours particularly was that we got people together and people sharing their experience and sharing the moment, and the supper club was always going to be a part of that kind of suite of events that we were doing.
And I think it's one of the bits that I was going to touch on as well, is that it's such a a great hall and space that you've got here. Presumably if people are watching and are thinking about hiring it or hosting an event, they're bits that you're open to and you can do here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've already got a few kind of bookings already for Christmas events. We've got a 50th, we've got a baptism, we've got a 60th. So yeah, absolutely. Private event, it's such a beautiful space. It kind of lends itself to it. We had our launch party here, and straight away afterwards I was like, let's do it again. It was so much fun. So yeah, absolutely. Private hire for personal events, but also for sharing moments with clients and corporate events as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think since you've opened, obviously it sounds like you've been really, really busy, which is great. How have you found the support from Bishop Stortford and the local community?
Yeah, really good so far. A lot of the local businesses are helping, and a lot of people we know. Really keen to help us out and stuff, and booking things in.
Good.
So it's been quite...
And I think it's one of the ones that I know we said before we were kind of rolling on camera, it's so deceptive because, you sit here and you look out at obviously the vines, you could be anywhere, and it's hard to believe that you're so close to the centre of Stortford and you're...
Yes, you can only see trees from here, or vines. That's the thing I like about here. So it's,
Yeah, and I think coming up here from our office, it took something like 6 minutes driving, and we're pretty central. So you're nice and easy.
It is. It's and I think that is quite unique for a vineyard.
Yes.
A lot of vineyards are, rightly so, kind of off down a beaten track. They're in the countryside, so they can be a little bit harder to access. But we're so lucky in our position here. Like you say, it's just 5 minutes drive from town.
Yeah, and plenty of parking as well, which is always very handy when people are coming out. So
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of you guys, I guess going a little bit off topic, one of the bits that I know we spoke about before is obviously 3 children and running all this and taking it on. How do you find the time to manage everything?
I think what we've really found is that you need to realise you can't do everything yourself, and you bring the experts in to help you. So we have people like Sarah from Marketing Makeover, who has just been an absolute legend for us and really helped us kind of launch the business. And we couldn't have done it without her. So we know we know where we're experts, but we know where we need to bring in other people. Yeah. And what I found really exciting and inspiring is actually that Stortford is full of so much talent.
Yes.
We haven't had to go outside of Stortford to find the expertise that we've needed really to help us. So it's been amazing.
Wow. And in terms of, I guess, moving forward and what's next for you guys, I know you've obviously touched on it briefly with, having obviously the Harvest Supper and exciting events that side. Any immediate plans for the near future and I guess further afield?
Just selling wine. Christmas.
We've got lots
of Christmas sales out there.
Yeah, we're going to be at quite a few of the Christmas fairs this year.
Okay.
We've got some really fun Christmas events that we're going to do here. So we're bringing in a piano and we're going to do carols around the piano.
Yes.
We've got a few other little ideas that we're just waiting to launch. But hopefully another supper club perhaps in the new year, I think. Once Christmas is out of the way. But we've got lots of exciting plans. But
absolutely.
For the tasting room, but also for the winery, part of our business is actually doing contract winemaking for other vineyards in the local area. So we're looking to just kind of grow that that side of business as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And bring in more vineyards.
Yes. And I think one part that we haven't maybe touched on is that whilst people can obviously come here and buy wine, sample some of the wine, which is great, is that you guys actually do vineyard tours as well.
Yes. So they'll be starting back up sometime in the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When there's something to look at.
Yes.
So harvest came so early for us this year. A good month early, really, wasn't it?
So we picked our Chardonnay last year on the 28th of October.
Okay.
And we'd finished picking mid-September this year. So
Yeah.
yes.
Which is super exciting because it means that this half term, we might have a couple of days away.
Okay.
Which is unheard of for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well deserved by the sounds of it. So.
It's quite good timing. So if you look out in the vineyard at the moment, there's no grapes on those vines, and they're all just starting to change colour as the autumn leaves come in, which is really exciting. I love this time of year.
Yeah. And with the vines, is it quite an exact science in terms of placement and where you plant them and what direction they're facing, or is it?
Yes, ideally they face south. The rows. You space them about 1.2 apart down the rows, and then the row spacing is, I think ours is 2.2.
Okay.
It's sort of like if you have them too far apart, the climate in the vines is not that.
Yeah.
So it's warmer in the vineyards in
Yes.
summer than it is outside the vineyards.
Okay.
So there's a lot of manual work in there, a lot of pruning. Everything's pretty much done by hand, apart from spraying and a bit of cutting of the brass.
And is that the part that you're in charge of and that you look after, or is there help involved?
No, we've got Steve who works on vineyard for us.
Okay.
So I have pruned them all. I've been a bit busy this year too.
Yes. Yeah. No, I don't blame you.
Yeah, there's a lot of maintenance in the vineyard.
Yeah. But rewarding, I guess, and obviously you then get the fun part of once you've got, I guess, the grapes is then, like you said earlier, experimenting and trying out and working what.
Yeah, the neater the vineyard is, the better it is. It's not for the look, it's camping management.
Okay.
It's disease control and stuff like that. So
perfect.
But I think as well that, one of the things about English wine particularly is that it is so young and so new that there is a lot of experimenting going on. And it's quite a unique industry in that everyone helps each other out.
Okay.
There's a little bit of competitiveness, but not really. And particularly amongst the winemakers, they all chat to each other. Have you tried this? Are you doing this? So it's just an exciting environment to be in all the time.
And one of the questions I had, which I know some people may ask, is, how does English wine differ from, more, I suppose, what people would say conventional French wine or further afield? Is there much difference in that? Or?
So English sparkling wine is exactly the same as champagne. It's made the same way. It's the same. It's the same grapes. It's pretty much the same soil. But champagne is just getting a bit too hot.
Yes.
So we're similar climate to champagne was 40 odd years ago. So you don't want the grapes ripening too quickly and stuff like that, because the acidity drops.
I think what's really telling is that there are champagne houses buying up land in England and planting vines.
Wow. Okay.
So we know that this is the place to be at the moment, particularly for a sparkling wine for sure.
No, definitely.
I think when it comes to still wines, we struggle slightly because we haven't got the heat all the time to ripen the fruit so much. That said, here, Hertfordshire, Essex particularly is one of the driest county, or I think it is the driest county in the UK. So if I was going to try a still red, I would probably veer towards Essex to try one. The price point though is an issue in the still wines.
Okay.
Because of the manual labour that's involved. And versus kind of our neighbours are much more established, can use mechanical machinery, which we can't.
Okay.
But from a sparkling wine, we're absolutely on a par, if not doing better. So the likes of No Timber just won above champagne. So, we're definitely holding our own.
Fantastic. Wow. And obviously locally produced in Bishop Stortford as well, which is a selling point in and of itself. So
yeah, we're really proud of it, and we really want Bishop Stortford to be proud of it. And I think, sometimes when we talk to people, I overheard a conversation the other day, and they're like, oh, yeah, we've got a vineyard in Bishop Stortford. I think that's so great, It would be so exciting that everyone's really proud of this and the wine, etc.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to speak to us. And obviously, if you're watching and you haven't yet been up to Bailey Hills and visited, highly recommend it. The wine is fantastic. Obviously, Eloise and Dylan are great as well. So highly recommend.